4.4, factoring and solving cubics. What is a cubic? It's an expression or equation that contains an x to the third or x cubed term. So we're going to see all of these expressions have something to the third power, and then it could be something to the second, and then something x. And it says to factor completely. So what I want to look for is a GCF. This coefficient is a 1, -4, -32. I can't divide anything other than a 1, so I can't take a number out. Then I see an x to the third, x squared, and an x. I can take an x from every term. So I'll put that out in front, then my parentheses. So this will now be x to the second minus 4x minus 32. It took an x away from each term, but again, if I wanted to quickly FOIL or distribute this, I would end up back with this. Okay, so now here's the fun part. I love to factor. We've got this trinomial inside of here. What you're trying to do is figure out what FOILed to make this, okay? X is still part of this, but what FOILed to make this? So I like to go ahead and set up my two groups of parentheses. I know that it was x times x. First times first got this x squared. And then I also know the last times the last got this last term of -32. So I have to think about numbers that multiply to make, let's just start with 32, and then are going to combine to make -4. 32 could be made by 1 times 32, 2 times 16, not 3, 4 times 8, not 5, not 6, not 7, then I'm back to 8 and 4, 16, 2, 32, and 1. I'm multiplying to make a negative, so that means that one of the numbers has to be negative. I want to combine to make -4, so I need the bigger numbers to have the negative. So which set of numbers works? It would be 4 and -8. So since the 4 is positive, I put x plus 4. 8's negative, I put -8. And we could check real quick. I'll do it up here. X times x is x squared. Outers would be -8x. Inners would be 4x. And last would be -32. And see how you're combining these? That's what we were trying to figure out. -8 plus 4 is -4x. So I ended up back to this trinomial. So this is factored completely. Do not forget about the x. All right, number 2. Let's check for a GCF. First, I actually want to put these in order from the biggest exponent down. So I'll put -3x cubed, then my positive 42x squared minus 135x. So again, when this leading coefficient's negative, I take a negative out with whatever number or variable. All these numbers should be able to divide by 3. So I'm going to actually take out a -3x. That would leave me with an x squared for the first term. 42 divided by -3 is -14x. And then 135 divided by 3 is +45. Okay. So now I'm trying to factor this again because something had to FOIL or multiply to make this be x squared. Make two sets of parentheses, x times x. What multiplies to make 45? Could be 1 and 45, 3 and 15, not 4, 5 and 9, not 6, not 7, not 8, I'm back to 9. So I've got all of them here. Multiplies to make a positive, but I'm going to have them combine to make a negative. That means that both numbers will have to be negative. So that's the only way to multiply to get a positive, but add to be negative. So which one works? -5 and -9. But don't forget about your -3x we already factored out. In the table, you don't have to do. That's just something that I find when kids get stuck or their multiplication facts aren't great. That helps them see the options, especially when they get stuck. All right, let's try number 3. If you want to pause and try it on your own, you can. I'm going to put my terms in order, so I'd have negative 2x cubed minus 6x squared plus 36x equals 0. Leading term is a negative, so I can take out a negative, and I see all of them will divide by 2 and take out an x. So that would leave me with times an x squared plus 3x minus 18 equals 0. Oh, I don't need it. Yeah. Oh, we're solving. We are solving. Whoop, sorry. We're taking this a step further and solve. So now it's an equation versus 1 and 2 are just an expression. Okay, I need to factor this again. My options to multiply to make 18, 1 and 18, 2 and 9, 3 and 6. It's going to have to be a negative, and I want more positive, so I want the smaller numbers to be the negative so that the more positive is left over. So that would be 6 and negative 3. So I got negative 2x times x minus 3 times x plus 6. And now we're just taking it one extra step further, setting each factor equal to 0 and solving. So you have negative 2x equals 0, divide by negative 2. X is 0 is my answer. This answer, I'm going to add the 3 over. So x is 3. This one I'm going to subtract 6, so it's negative 6. So my solutions are 0, 3, negative 6. And then my last one, let's put the terms in order. I'd have negative x cubed minus 2x squared plus 63 x equals 0. Definitely going to take out a negative, but I can't take out a number because there's just a 1 here. So I'm going to take out a negative x. That would leave me with x squared minus 2x. No, plus 2x, sorry. I always check, so that would be a negative 2x squared. And then a minus 63. I need two numbers to multiply to make negative 63 that add to make 2. I'm not going to make the table this time. Since this is a negative, I need them to subtract really to make 2, so I want numbers that are 2 digits away from each other, which would be 7 and 9. I want more positive, so I'd positive 9 and a minus 7. So see how that would make negative 63, and then I'd have 9x minus 7x is 2x. That works perfect. Now I'll take it a step further and actually solve. Negative x equals 0. I could divide by negative 1, but I know that's just 0. This would be negative 9, and this would be 7. That's how I put them in order, but again, it does not matter. And that's it.